Hey, man.
Hey.
We're live.
Are you sure? Yes, there we go.
100% sure. I just need to kill the audio and everything.
I have a stream preview, so that's working.
Yep. We're good, man. We're good. So we're just testing some new setups for maybe a new weekend morning show.
Yeah, look, it's up. It's good.
It's up on your end?
There we go. Yeah, I gotta mute it. So you're on top, I'm on the bottom, and there's like a picture in the middle that's purple?
Yeah, the picture in the middle of the purple will be where the live chat goes through. So, wait, I actually should test that.
What's
so,
over the chat? Looks like it's over on the right side.
Let me see. A second. So,
this is what we have. If you or anybody's watching, we're just testing stuff.
Yeah, we're just testing stuff. So, this is what it will look like. I should just go over to here. Let's have a look. And I'll go to kick. That's gone, that one. So let's have a look. We could do a 30-minute shooting the shit show as well if we wanted.
Yeah.
Since politics is very high on the agenda and in the news at the moment. So like I'll go to Sean's.
Tons of news, man.
Tons of news, man. Yeah. One thing we didn't do on this, we didn't connect our YouTube, so our YouTube audience aren't going to be getting this.
Correct.
Channels. But we can do that next time. Oh, Satoshi Sean isn't showing up here. What's going on? Are you banned?
No.
Oh, here we are, Satoshi Sean. Gotcha. So let's have a look. See if the emojis come through. Nope, there they didn't. And I will go to my creator dashboard. So your chat isn't coming through, so we need to fix that next time around.
Okay.
Mine is coming through. Fuck. Yeah, that's all fine. So the kick one is coming through. What about Twitch? We should connect your Twitch also, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. See my 5 stars game?
Yeah.
I'm going to challenge you every Saturday with this.
Okay.
Well, we won't do it. We won't do it this Saturday because we got to get you up to speed on the Premier League. But let me see. Should we look at a few tweets?
Oh, so it's football as in football, not football.
You would say soccer. Soccer.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So don't worry. We'll educate you, man. Yeah,
hey, man. I like that Ted Lasso. He's all right.
Oh, dude. Do you know what? It start off on a nice, smooth topic, but I thought that was good, man. I watched every season. I was only 3, but I watched it all in a week.
It took you forever, dude. I kept telling you fucking.
I was watch against it.
Yep, and I told you it was good, dude.
I watched it and I thought, there's a bit of humor at the beginning, in the first episode. I watched it through, and then, man, it was fucking brilliant. I was glued to it. It went a little bit wokish in season 3. Halfway through season 3, it was like it was getting a bit woke heavy, but it wrapped it up well. The last 3 episodes, fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
But that's what happens. Everything gets popular, man. The woke virus seems to get in there.
Yeah. But things are changing because it's not financially feasible anymore.
I think it was ever financially feasible, yeah.
Well, it was because Soros and all them were throwing money, but they don't have the money to cover.
Yeah.
Plus, I mean, like companies want to have some money, but then they're just they realize that they're not a real company. They're bitches, which isn't why they started.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Correct.
that was a big thing here with what was it? I think it was Tractor Supply, or it was after Bud Light because Bud Light just said
Yeah.
and they got hit. But it was
I bet.
I think it was Tractor Supply, whatever. It was the one in Gatesville. But they came out and nobody talked about this. They said we're not going to follow any more of the social credit score stuff. And nobody talked about how that was a huge thing. Because it wasn't like, hey, we're not going to do pride stuff or whatever. They're like, we're not going to follow the new agenda that we're being paid, and because they're the ones that control like investor money. So if you allow the market to actually be a free market, it'll fix itself. You know what I mean? But if you fuck with it and don't allow it to be a free market, which they don't do, we haven't had a free market for a long fucking time.
You're right there, man. Yeah. Yeah.
That's the one thing Trump people won't admit is that he was a socialist as fuck and bailing out the airlines. Should have let it have the problem, and then because it was not like all airlines would have disappeared. Southwest, all the ones that aren't constantly on social media for overbooking and fucking people over.
Yeah.
Those
Well,
people
United especially should have got fucked out.
Yeah, they would have. United would have, and they weren't even nice about getting it.
Yeah.
They're like, we don't need it, but we'll take it.
Yeah.
But they would have lost all their shit. All those other ones would have bought planes and everything for pennies on the dollar.
Yeah.
That's the fucking market. That's how it works, man. The companies that took care of their shit and took care of their shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't over in debt and screwed up. They would have gotten bigger and better, stronger.
Yeah. Now United is DEI fucking crazy.
Yeah, because they got fucking free money. When they can print money and just out of thin air, you can do whatever you want. But the bad thing, what they learned with like BlackRock and other companies, you can print the money and then buy real shit. So that when that printed money finally people realize it's worthless, everything that's worth something is owned by the government or these like 3 or 4 corporations,
Correct. Yeah. It's going to come back and haunt some people, man. I mean, you got it. I mean, I was looking at something there recently where, it's not the best person for the job anymore that gets the fucking job. I'd say there's some fucking pilots flying around, man. They shouldn't be anywhere near a cockpit.
Dude, I was watching Dick Cavett. No, you're not old enough. I'm fucking old. But
I'm not that old.
You go on YouTube and watch the old Dick Cavett show interviews.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, the talk there's so much more just intelligent. But he had James Earl Jones on.
Oh yeah.
And he tried to bait him, like race bait him.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, Anthony Quinn, who's like the Greek guy, right? He said, or Italian or whatever, I think he's Greek. He said they just cast him as with some role when he was playing a black guy. And he's like, the black people are very up in arms. And man, what are you mad about that? That role should have went to a black person? And I was like, James Earl Jones, he goes, no. And he was like, what? He goes, the question is not should it go to a black person. The question is Anthony Quinn a good enough actor to make me believe that he is that black guy that went through all those hardships and lived that life? Is he a good enough actor? And then he's like, so what if the role of, would you take the role of Ronald McDonald? And he goes, well, I don't know if I don't think I'm good enough actor to play a white clown that started a burger place. He was like, he turned it around. He's like, hey man, if someone's good enough and they can make you believe they're that person, then fine, give them the role. You know, give it to a white woman who can make me believe she's a black man that went through all this. And
So you could have a white woman that plays the part of Martin Luther.
Black man. Yeah, that's what he said. As long as she's good enough, and when you watch it, you believe that she's a black man, and you believe she's Martin Luther King.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, if they put makeup on her, I mean, we watched Vampire in Brooklyn, and Ted and Alex didn't know that the white guy was Eddie Murphy. They're like, that white Italian mobster, that's Eddie Murphy? And they're like, he doesn't look. I said, it looks just like Eddie Murphy. What are you talking about? That's Eddie Murphy. But yeah, they didn't know.
I didn't know.
He played a good Italian mob guy.
I like Eddie Murphy, man.
Yeah, I think he was too. I think he was too hip to what was going on in Hollywood, so he had to take a hiatus.
Yeah, take a hike. Yeah. You mentioned bitches there earlier, and I wanted to bring in Harris's one, because you were going to talk about Waltz, and we didn't get to him.
Yeah, Waltz is he's a piece of shit. Really.
He's a piece of shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. The stuff he's done in Minnesota is it's very anti-American.
Mm-hmm.
It's very anti-human, really. I mean, they passed that law, which is like what the government does now. They do whatever they want and they get away with it for 6 months to a year until the Supreme Court says, no, that you can't do that. We have a constitution, you dumb fuck. And they know that.
Yeah, they know that. Yeah.
But for a year, they get away with doing whatever they wanted to. They put something on the books, and then they keep trying to get as close to it as they can without, But anyway, you have the right to defend yourself, period.
Mm-hmm. You
have the right to really defend yourself in like a lot of states that have stand your ground or castle doctrine and stuff like that. But in Minnesota, they passed this new law where you have to run away or else you get charged, just like they are in Europe. In Europe, if you kill someone that breaks in your house, you get in trouble.
You're going to jail if you fucking fight back.
If you fight back, not if you kill him? I thought it was just if you killed him.
If you kill him, you're fucked. You can go to jail for assault. You can get sued.
It's hard for me to just even understand. I mean, in Texas, you can kill 7 people. If you get attacked by 7 people,
mm-hmm.
you can shoot them and kill them all.
Yeah.
If it's 6, you can't. You can get a stick or something, or you can shoot at them. But if you shoot one and they run away, then you're fine. But you can chase them down and just kill all 7 of them if there's 7.
You can't do 6.
Same thing with children. If you see someone hurt a child, you can kill them. If they're committing a felony to a child, you can kill them. Just one guy. I'll tell you what Ted did when he went to Thailand.
No.
Dude, he went to Thailand. They were walking around, him and Sebastian, and there was this like 60, 70-year-old dude just making out with like this 12-year-old, 11-year-old girl, groping her. Yeah, it's real gross. And they were asking him about, like laws, and he was he was loud as fuck. Yeah, like, see that guy? We can kill him right now. I could take a gun and boom. And this dude is like freaking out because, of course, Ted's like 6'4", like 300 pounds in fucking Thailand.
Jesus Christ, that's a giant in Thailand.
Yeah, he fucking stuck out big time. So he was like, yeah, I'd kill that guy in a second if we were in Texas. No way this shit would be happening.
Yeah, I mean, I think Thailand is, man, I don't know. I think There's some seriously fucked up shit going on over there. But it goes on everywhere now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that's kind of the movement of the those.
That's the movement, yeah.
Power.
I said to you, man. I said to you years ago, you know, some of the shit that was getting justified in psychiatry, I was like, what the fuck, man? We keep moving this line, right? And I said, at some stage, you're going to get to that line. And when is like pedophilia all of a sudden going to be going, maybe it's not that bad?
You know, I thought of something funny.
I was like disgusted. I'm disgusted.
I ran across this thing on Twitter. It's pedophiles, right? Which there always used to be like a group. My mom told me about it. They're called NAMBLA. And like the South Park made fun of them and everything because they're like for legalizing, you know, pedophiles. Mm-hmm. But all the flags, if you look at it, one of the flags is pedophiles.
Jesus Christ.
People, you know, put that up there with like all the different flags. If you just are doing that, like, you know, because I support all of the LGBTQ, whatever, one of those, you better know what you're fucking supporting, dude. You know what I mean?
Correct. Yeah, it sneaks in, man.
If the hammer falls, dude.
Yeah.
You got that shit. You know, you were standing up there.
And somebody in the chat just asked, do you have a brother or a sister? And we're talking about this. Mm-hmm.
I have a sister. She's 14 years younger than me.
I thought you were going to say she's 14 years old.
No, she's 14 years older than me.
Yeah,
which was odd. Yeah. But my aunt is 14 years older than my mom. So it was like all my cousins were like way older than me. You know, they were more like kind of like uncles, I guess, you know?
Yeah.
Uncles and aunts. But then my uncle, he was more like a father figure, and my aunt was more like because my mom was more like a intellectual, hippie-ish kind of person, and my aunt was a rich older lady from, you know, that played bridge and shit. She was more of the Leave It to Beaver kind of. And I lived with them for a little bit. And then my uncle, that's what I named Ted after. He was like, you know, he was vice president or president of an insurance company. So they were all, you know, right outside of New York.
Oh, okay. Do you know, there's a lot of people predicting a Trump landslide now. Going to sweep all 7 swing states.
You know, I thought something was interesting. Rogan had that guy on, and he basically admitted that there's like a cheat. But he's like, how much can they cheat? And I knew it the first time back in 2016. I'd never seen that many people vote. There were lines. I mean, there were so many people that voted, and they were shocked that he won. But I think they were cheating like 20%, you know? And they just, he beat her by like 25%. They just didn't think it could happen. So I think the second time, it was so freaking obvious that people were pissed off. And now there's too much information. Those machines have been hacked live on stage. It was on Valuetainment. This dude hacked into it in like 5 minutes. I think he was from Finland. So he talked with that accent. You know. Mm-hmm. But he was calling something like a penis thing, but he was pronouncing it, you know, that way. It was they were trying to like be serious. But everybody knows it's like in the U.S. everyone's talking about the fact that people can control the weather, which I've been saying for years. I mean, since I was young, because when I was a kid, I was a nerd. I was in science fiction and science, and you know, scientists said from the 50s and 40s even, like, we can control the weather easily if we had these things called lasers, which they explain what a laser is. And if we had some kind of satellite in orbit, something that would orbit the planet, and it had a laser on it that could heat certain, you know, heat cumulus clouds and do this. It would be easy to do this kind of weather or that kind of weather, but it was all like science fiction. They didn't have all the shit. And then in the 60s and 70s, when we had all all of a sudden they're like, oh, that's impossible. We could never do anything with the weather. And it was like, well, what about they said if we had all this, it would be easy. And then no talk about it until the weather started acting real weird, you know. And we've had lasers that like Star Wars lasers, the military, for probably 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
So now they're talking about like space lasers that could start like a fire in Maui or something like that. Oh, that's stupid. We don't have that. But they're literally on ships. They could set a pirate ship on fire, like in Mogadishu and stuff. They're almost free because the power costs like $9 to shoot it for, like, you know, to take out a ship.
Yeah.
Versus like a $60,000 missile. You know, because they've talked about how cheap it is, but how it's a very secret technology. Because obviously, when you put 1 and 1 together, it equals 2. You know.
Absolutely, yeah, yeah. I think so. I think, and I said to you earlier, I think there's just with these 2 hurricanes, it's very fishy, man. Especially the trajectory of Helena. I know, man. It's like when's the last time they got hit by a hurricane up there?
In like Tennessee?
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't think ever.
Asheville, Tennessee. Yeah, it's very, very odd, dude.
Yeah, it's very odd.
But also, it's obvious the lack of response.
Yeah, doesn't give a fuck.
Dude, the fact that she did that press conference, and had them load supplies on a big C-130 airplane, and then didn't send it to North Carolina.
Yeah, didn't send it. Yeah. That tells you everything you need to know, man.
So bad.
Yeah, they loaded it up and everything, and just said, "Fuck it, I'm out of here."
Yeah, how do you come back from that?
Yeah,
that's the thing. They've made people so against each other that literally it doesn't matter. You know.
Well, I'll give you the European perspective on that. So, you know, they're brainwashed over here. I mean, if the election was over here, probably be 80% fucking Democrats. It's insane. And there's a lot of historical elements to that, and there's like new stuff, like with the way the news is fucking portrayed here and where the Americans portrayed here.
It wasn't in France where like the Conservative Party was gonna win, so
Marie Le Pen,
all of the little parties joined together,
and picked one candidate and dropped out then the rest.
Yeah, which basically made it like you're having a 2-party system in the United States, which is what destroyed our country.
I mean, that's open manipulation.
Yeah.
It's she was blatantly robbed, openly robbed. Like, she was gone up, she'd have a 40-point lead against these other 3 candidates, right? And the other 3 candidates would be all like left leaning or hard left, and they decided, right, we'll pick one of us in each constituency, and the rest of us will drop out. So, I mean, they didn't get hammered. They still got like 35% of the vote, but it wasn't enough to come to power.
RFK did that too. He did it with Trump, and it was, fuck you, kind of to the other side.
I mean, he's still on the ballot though in many states.
Yeah, only where he can hurt Kamala. I think Kamala was going to win.
I do too.
Until like, I don't know, man. Now I don't know.
No, I think her performances over the last month, they've gone, fuck, we can't have this imbecile in power.
Yeah, I think it's too bad.
Yeah, I think she's just too bad, man. Joe was the maximum.
Because she was like at 20%.
Yeah.
And he was like, it was like 80.
Yeah.
But then she, came back. The press is talking about how great she is. 60 Minutes. But then, like, they just showed the questions, how they doctored the answers.
Yeah. Oh my God.
She really answered. She asked I asked her a real question, and she was like talking for 2 minutes. And then they took like the best 15 seconds, put it together, and made it.
And it still wasn't a good answer. Yeah.
Yeah. But it didn't sound like her talking for 2 minutes about,
I'll give Whitaker credit. He asked the questions at least. Yeah,
but they edited it. But then they showed, there's stuff showing out how they edited it.
Yeah, I've seen that.
You can't trust 60 Minutes, dude. You can't trust.
Oh, I know. You can't trust any of them, man.
No, it's all.
No, I can't trust any of them.
I think it was was it Anchorman, or it was some comedy movie where they're like, hey, we can't let these people buy the news station because we'll lose our credibility.
Yeah.
And then the guy's like, hey, you can't talk about this helicopter going down or something because they own part of the company that bought us. And she was like, no, I'm going to do it. You know, it's that we're journalists. We got to do that. And then that one guy on CBS, the audio got leaked. He just asked a dude about Israel. The guy wrote a book, and he left out all this stuff.
Yeah, I watched that.
And then they were like, "Man, this guy was a dick," and asking these questions, saying that, and he was asking regular questions.
He got dragged over the coals, and he had to apologize.
I didn't know he had to apologize. That's nuts.
That's nuts. I mean, he apologized yesterday. I was like, why did you apologize?
Yeah.
Because that's what they want you to fucking do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You should have stood your ground and gone.
Admit you're wrong. You know?
Yeah, I mean, that guy was... I don't know the author's name, but I seen the clip and I was thinking, this guy is a fucking scumbag. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was anti-Israel, anti-Israel state, anti-Jewish, Holocaust denier. Look, you just cannot fucking put that out there. You know what I mean? And if you do put it out there, there's a legitimacy to question you about it, right?
Yeah.
So,
but by the other side of the coin, I think there is a lot of things that we have not been told. About Holocaust, a lot of other things that we.
Oh, I agree with you 100%. Yeah.
I think you should be able, because it's the other side of the coin. You could say, "Hey, what about this? And what about hey, don't? Are you saying the Holocaust didn't happen?" I was like, no. I've been to Dachau. I know shit happened, but
shit happened. And I'd love to get some Russian history books that talk about the war. Just to see that perspective, that documentation that they've done.
Well, they're just in the United States. We don't. Nobody here knows about what Russia did for the United States. No one knows there wouldn't be the United States without Russia, most likely. We may not have ended slavery without Russia. That is not taught at all.
Yeah, and as powerful as the Brits and the Yanks were, I mean, there'd be a vast swathe of Europe speaking German now.
Yeah, but 1776, King George went to Catherine and said, "Hey, send some of your Ruskies over there to the United States," and she's like, "No, we're actually going to give them humanitarian aid, and we're not." And then when we had the Civil War, nobody knows that Cassius Clay, one of the greatest American heroes ever, if not the crazy dude. Lincoln, he was so popular and crazy. Lincoln didn't know what to do and sent him to Russia. He was the ambassador, and he talked Russia into standing up for the Union. Russia went to every country, including the UK, everyone, and said anyone in the world that recognizes the Confederate States of America as a legitimate country, Russia will go to war with them. Nobody learns that in school. We don't learn that.
No.
That's one of the biggest reasons why the South had no real support. And Spain did send Spain when it didn't, but see, it was so Spain did not recognize them, but said that they would send support. Spain sent thousands of soldiers to aid and to reinforce the Southern Army, and they're on the way from Spain, so it's a big trip. And they're like, "Hey, we have this little uprising in Mexico. Let's hit Mexico. We'll mop the floor with those peasants, and then go up through Texas and support, and then we'll reinforce the troops. But as Robin Hood said, he learned in the Crusades that a single man defending his home is worth 10 knights. And Mexicans killed the Spanish army. And that's why they have Cinco de Mayo. And we have no idea what the fuck Cinco de Mayo is. We have no idea that that's one of the biggest things that saved the Union from winning over the Confederates. No idea. We just say, hey, we're going to buy Modelo's or Coronas, the day after Star Wars Day and get drunk. But that's the thing, dude. They change history. They teach the history they want. If you go to a government school, and me and Lisa and everyone, we started calling them government schools because they're not
That's
public.
what they are, dude. Yeah.
They're government schools. There's a Department of Education, which there's been a couple of presidents that said, hey, we're going to get rid of the Department of Education. And it just sounds bad. Why would you get rid of the Department of Education? It's like, but it's not necessary, dude. You have your states and even your school districts. You have parents that choose the curriculum and are for or against whatever, But when you make it on a national government level, you get a bigger bloated government, and you get people that don't hold your values or what you think is important deciding what's going to be in fucking school.
Correct, yeah. And I wonder how the next 4 years will be, depending on who gets in. Will it actually change that much?
I don't know. I don't think. I mean, honestly, my thoughts. I don't think we can fix it anymore. It's too messed up.
I think it's fixable. Yeah.
They split it without blood. Just if you're honest, and you just look and you're a student of history, it's played out the same way.
Yeah.
For every empire that's fallen, and even the time frame, it's like 200 some years. Usually, it's like 250 when it falls. Everything has progressed just like it's supposed to. People get obsessed. Even what I found was weird. One of the like 5 things is people get obsessed with food.
Food.
That's when they started because you can look at the art. The art, people get more. There's a lot more gay stuff in art. The gender gets changed, gets bent, and then there's a lot more obsession with food that it is something to be like glorified, and people take pictures of their fucking food constantly. That's like one of the main things on people's Instagrams or whatever is what they eat.
Yeah,
like it is a glorified thing. It's not just energy for your body or something that tastes good. It's an
so
art.
Stupid. Yeah.
So,
yeah, absolutely.
It's just odd that everything that happened in past empires that fell, it's like exactly what's going on. So
but that's the way they go, man. History tells you exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah, that's the one thing you learn from history is that we don't learn from history.
Yeah, you don't learn from it.
So, I mean, unless there's a big shakeup, unless we get crypto and get money out of the hands of the people in power back to like the hands of regular folks, then I guess there's that chance. But without that,
you need a total reset. I mean, total reset.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you need a world reset.
Well, and it's weird it's hard for me to think the way you do. Because I'm an American. And I understand why there could be resentment against Americans. Because
I don't have any resentment.
Well, lots of people, I would. If I had to look at my money and certain things and think in terms of euros or think in terms of a different currency or a different system because some other country is more in charge, it's odd to think that way. And so I can understand why like Europeans and other countries would think that's weird. But I don't even know what a lot of countries' currency, what it's called. Whether it's a lira, a peso, a ducat, I don't know. It's certain countries. I mean, I know a lot of countries, but I don't know what.
Well, go back to your point. Like you said, it's weird as an American.
Yes, weird as an American to. We were something that was so different. I've told you for the past probably 5 years. There's no difference between 5 years ago and 10 years ago. There's no difference between the U.S. and most European countries.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's the same. Now Europe's worse off, but America's going down the same road. I think 3 years from now, if we keep going the same trajectory, the U.S. would be the same as Europe today.
Yeah.
You know, whereas before it was a radically different experiment.
Yeah.
You know,
completely different.
Governed ourselves. It was a totally different thing, and
well, you're letting millions and millions and millions of future voters in that will all vote for one party. So once you become a one-party system, that's it.
Well, now see, that's the thing. Like Mexicans, they would let lots of Mexicans in, and even other South Americans. But once they came in, like they understand what they came from, and they don't vote for that. Yeah. And I think that was something that kind of threw off the left. So that's why we're seeing people coming in that we never had before, that are like more of like a hardcore religious sect that would vote temporarily. It's even temporarily, dude. If we have I guess if you look at that, because when it comes to that side of like Muslims,
the Muslims.
I don't really see it as a religion, more as a theocracy, because they believe that it should be the form of government. So that's which this is one of the basic things, is that we know the separation of church and state, which is to keep the government out of the church.
Yep.
Once you combine them, it's too much power.
Yeah, well, Ireland is a good example of that experiment. Because church and government were like one up until the 80s. And look at the abuse that took place. Fuck's sakes.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's we had these things called mother and baby homes, because like Catholic country, they had to set up special institutions for unmarried mothers and stuff and that. And there's a they're called mother and baby homes. There's a mother and baby home, honest to fuck, man, it is less than 25 miles from where I grew up, yeah? And about 2 or 3 years ago, they found hundreds and hundreds of bodies there. Babies.
Yeah, you told me.
Yeah?
And same in Canada.
And the same in Canada, yeah. So very, very similar, yeah. So church run, obviously fucking ignorant and bigoted and just like filled with hate. And that place is 25 miles from me, right? I used to go there all the time. And there's hundreds and hundreds of dead bodies, babies, and some adults as well, buried out the back. I mean, they didn't even have to clear these deaths. They just out the back, you know what I mean? So, and there's no accountability. There's fuck all investigating going on. So, like, if something like that happens,
there doesn't have to be accountability if you are.
Well, Catholic Church doesn't have to have accountability. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're doing it in the name of God.
Yeah.
That's
so it's disgusting.
It's all personal. Yeah.
Well, you would think the government elected by the people, like when that shit like that breaks, they should be fucking on that so hard. You know what I mean? They should be pouring resources, investigating every fucking aspect of it. Yeah, man, they didn't do a fucking thing. They just said, what can we do? You know what I mean? We'll have a look at it, see what happened. But, it's Catholic Church problem, so. It's crazy stuff. Yeah, and it's very similar to the shit that happened in Canada. I don't remember exactly the details of that, but I know it was quite similar in terms of, it was on board, it was like, it was single mothers too, I think, wasn't it? Yeah.
It was a lot of kids, but it was a lot of native native.
Native, native, yeah. It's just insane. Like these things happen. But I think we're, in terms of the life cycle of this planet, we're a dot, not even a dot. And I think I don't know how long it'll take, but in 20,000 years' time, I don't think there'll be any humans on this planet. I mean, we're rapidly on the road to destruction. And I'm not about climate change or any of that shit. I think self-inflicted destruction.
Well, I mean,
20,000 years is a long time to the human race, man. From where we are now.
No, it's not.
Go back. I think go back to what's happened in the last 20,000.
We've had 4 or 6 extinction events that wiped everything.
Yeah, I think it's 6.
So we're due, but even
we're due. Yeah.
Even if something happens, I think we're gonna keep repeating. There's this theory that there's hundreds of alien races, and they're all super enlightened and wonderful. Yes. And they're all happy and they get along with each other.
Yeah.
But there's also races that are very confrontational, like us, warring, blah, blah, blah. But that they don't have to worry about them because they might come out, like learn space travel and stuff like that. But as soon as they'll never be interstellar because they destroy themselves before they destroy themselves.
Yeah.
And they start over. But one time,
that's my point, man.
So supposedly one time, these alien federation helped one group like humans. They were close,
Yeah.
They tried to help them. They gave them technology, and they came out and destroyed and took over like a quarter of the fucking universe. so they had this huge war. They killed them all and restored order in the universe. But they're like, we can't ever help.
Let's not do that again.
There's no help for these kinds of people, these kinds of life forms. Let them just live their own life cycle. And if they ever evolve to where they can do interstellar shit, they'll have to be more evolved before they get there. So
do you know what? It's just a perfect example of what humans would do.
Yeah.
Like if we did that and we expanded like that and we grew where we had all this technology, we're gonna fuck it up. Yeah. We're gonna see shit that we don't have that. I'm gonna try and take it.
Yeah.
I think it's
like we need gold for stuff, and then you find that there's like planets just made out of fucking gold. Like instead of iron, they got gold.
Yeah, imagine. Yeah. Yeah, well, that's getting fucking invaded.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
100%, yeah. And speaking of which, I haven't seen a good interstellar apocalyptic sci-fi series or movie for fucking ages.
Did you watch The Creator?
No.
I told you The Creator was really good, especially with us.
The Creator?
With AI.
Hold on, let me write it down. Let me get me a magic notepad. Look at my notepad, man. It's full of fucking.
The guy that directed it was like a guerrilla director. He's like a.
It's not a movie, is it?
Yeah, it's a movie.
It's a movie.
He would go down and start filming, like he didn't have permits, so he's like on the beach and there's people in like a tiki bar. He's like, just leave them in the background, man, and we'll make it look like they're rebels or something later, and they would. But basically, there's an AI war because they put AI in fucking robots and then they become sentient. And,
is this new?
2 years, maybe.
Oh fuck! I don't think I've seen that.
It's good.
Oh, wait a second. Who's in it? Who's the lead actor? Is he a black guy?
Yes.
I've seen it, man. I've seen it. They blew up this ship in the end.
Yeah.
Isn't there? Yeah. Fuck! I knew you'd seen it. Yeah. That was good, dude. I like that.
Yeah, that was because that and Rebel Moon came out at the same time.
I haven't seen Rebel Moon.
Oh, it's such a piece of shit.
It's a piece of shit. Damn it!
I was so excited to see that, dude.
Yeah.
It was like going to be Star Wars. They gave it to Abrams, giant budget, and it was so terrible. And I thought, you know what they're doing? They're making it a shit one, and then they're going to come out with it with just like they did Justice League.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to make it a Snyder cut. It was Snyder. And they did that. They specifically, purposely did that. They came out with the next one. I watched the next one with his cut.
Yeah.
And it's okay.
Oh, okay.
It's still shit.
It's still shit?
It's still, there's...
Okay, tell me why it's shit, because I think I started that and I turned it off. And tell me why it's shit, though.
Okay, so basically it's a video game where the bad guys land on this little farm. First off, I don't give a fuck. Kill all the people on the farm. There's like 19 people. I don't care about 19 people. You know what I mean? It's a blip.
Yeah. Who gives a fuck about 19 people?
Exactly. It's not, the stakes aren't big enough. So there's this giant evil empire, right? Mm-hmm. They land at this little village, and they're like, "Hey, we want to buy your wheat." And they're like, "Oh, we don't have any wheat." And he says, "You're lying. I caught you in a lie. You got wheat." So yeah, well, we got wheat, but that's like our reserves. It's like, give me my fucking wheat, and he kills the leader, the mayor. And then there's this girl there, who you find out was like the bodyguard of the princess, and that the king got killed, and there's an evil dude, the emperor took over. So anyway, she has to go and recruit some warriors to help defend the village when they come back for the grain to kill this bad guy. Mm-hmm. And then she's like, first, there's this guy, and she gives this huge backstory about how cool this dude is. And then they go and they don't talk about his fucking story. He doesn't say anything. They don't deep into it, nothing. And then they said this next guy, he was a general, and he stood against the evil emperor guy, and then they killed all his troops, and now he's fights in this arena, and he's drinking himself to death, and it's cool. You want to know everything about this guy, man. You meet him, he's like, hey, what's up? Will you join us? Oh, okay. That's it, dude. They went and they get like 10 people. Yeah. And they talk about how cool they are in this cool story, and they don't ever talk about the story or
that's bollocks.
No, and then they go back to the village. That's it.
That's
the whole first movie, 3 hours.
Oh my god, fuck that.
It's just special effects. It's explosions. It's like that kind of shit. Then Anthony fucking Hopkins is a robot.
Anthony Hopkins in it?
Yeah. Anthony Hopkins is in it. He's a robot in the first one, right?
Fuck.
He lands, he saves this girl, and then in the end, he's there. He's hiding in the wilderness around the village. He doesn't come in. He's got deer antlers, and he put body paint on. He's a fucking robot. So he did crazy shit, but they don't show you what he did. So it's like literally anything that you think would be cool to find out, they don't show you.
Okay, fuck that.
But then in the Snyder Cut, they did show you what the robot did, and it was cool. Because I'm like, dude, you have Anthony Hopkins in your fucking movie. Why are you not utilizing Anthony Hopkins in your movie? They did. That was better, but literally all the other stuff, they don't go into anything. There's no substance. But then that's when I watched the creator after that. I was like, this is what I'm talking about. Shit that makes you think.
Yeah, you need to be able to think.
Did you watch The Peripheral on Amazon?
No.
That's good. That's good.
That's good. See, I like if you bring AI and sci-fi into it, right? And I'm being very generic there, but it needs to stimulate you. You need to be able to think.
Yeah.
It's the whole fucking point.
Yeah.
What was the one you just what was the last one you just gave me there?
The Peripheral.
The Peripheral. I not even heard of it, man.
It's got a hit girl. What's her name? Chloe Moritz. You'll like that. It's time travel.
Okay, somewhat. I like. Yeah.
But it's like VR, but not VR. It's like you through when you put this headset on, you can go through a time tunnel your consciousness. Then it goes into a robot of yourself in the future. And the future people can fuck with the past, but as soon as they do, it creates a different timeline. So they can't fix their own future.
Ah, okay.
Basically,
I'm gonna
humanity
watch
fucked
that
itself.
when we get off this stream.
Yeah, you should watch that. But it's in like North Carolina or Tennessee.
Okay.
So it's
Even
very,
even better.
that you'll like that part of it.
You know what's coming out soon? 28 months
What?
later.
Another one?
It's been fucking years since the last one. We
Yeah.
got 28 days. What do we have? 28 hours, 28 days, and then
It was
now
20,
we're 28 hours, 28
It was
days.
28 days. 28 days because then they started to die because they were starving.
Oh, I did 28 weeks.
Then 28 weeks, yeah.
Yeah, and we missed a month. Now we're on 28 years.
28 years.
Yes, 28 years now. Yeah, it's coming out. I think this
Yeah,
month.
but also, the peripheral takes place in London. So
Okay.
London's fucked, man. Yeah.
So London's fucked. That's great. So that's why I
Yeah.
like 28 days.
London fucked. But it's kind of a reality thing. It's called, this thing happened that destroyed everything. It's called the jackpot.
Yeah.
So they had some nuclear shit, but not a huge thing, right?
Okay.
Then they also had pandemics that hit at the same time. They had like 7 bad things happen all at once, or over 2-3 years. So they weren't able to, they're trying to fix one thing and then something else happens, and then there's no one could go to help people. In the FEMA didn't have any people to go to Tennessee and then Carolina.
So what's changed?
They're all at the border. Because they said they're all at the border.
So nothing's changed.
They don't have the resources. Yeah. So that's that kind of stuff happens.
I actually think, I thought about this recently. I thought, now that you said that, this happened and this happened, this happened, and they couldn't keep up with shit. I was thinking about this recently. I think maybe COVID was that experiment that was supposed to be the first step and shit in total control, right? And it just failed. Didn't kill enough people. So, I think they had all these other shit planned to follow. They would start bringing down these systems, but I think COVID didn't do the job it was supposed to do.
You know what I think?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think I think this has been going on for a long time.
Yeah, I do too, yeah.
In the U.S. specifically.
Mm-hmm.
They've been pushing further. How much can we push people before they revolt? You know what I mean?
Yeah, correct.
And I think with COVID, they pushed people so far.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, dude, we got it. We're fucking Europe on steroids. We can do it.
Yeah.
But then people got so pissed after.
Yeah.
They're like, well, now we fucked up.
Yeah.
Because we went so far and we didn't think about the fallout from what afterwards.
They went too hard too quick, man.
Because now they're like, oh, there's a new strain in monkeypox, and people are like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. Yeah,
I'm gonna die. Then fuck you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, correct. Right. Yeah.
Trust the science. I'm like, I don't trust you or your science. No. Fauci is in trouble for stuff. There's people that say he should be put in jail. It's like, no, I don't care. I'm gonna die.
Should have put a better spokesperson and salesperson in charge than Fauci as well. I mean, you shouldn't put a smug motherfucker up there.
Okay, so I don't know if you remember this, but there was this is years ago.
Mm-hmm.
There was this thing called it was like Project 52 or something. It was under Obama. And they had this big exercise.
Damn it! I know the one you're on with you.
Facebook's pretty new. Internet's still new for older people now. And it was what happens if there's like a COVID or civil unrest or whatever. So the military would take charge, and it would work with local law enforcement. And they were doing it in most a lot of big cities. And then there were these zones which were cut into real political zones. That was a big thing that came up. But people were saying they're getting ready to take over, militarily take over the United States. Obama's not going to give up power at the end, and he's going to take over. This was the whole thing. This is a whole conspiracy. 150 Walmarts closed just overnight. And they were like, these Walmarts are going to house people and to be big jails. And it was dismissed. But Texas because they worked with local law enforcement, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so what happened, and that's not supposedly what happened, was they're working with these Texas Rangers, and they're starting to outfit all these train cars with shackles, like in the World War II.
Yeah.
But they put shackles on all of it. So the Rangers, like, why are you making thousands of these rail cars with shackles for people?
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh, it's part of the exercise in case we have to, arrest thousands of people. And so they went to the governor, and they're like, Governor, this doesn't look right. There's a lot of money.
This is a bit iffy. Yeah.
This is like a lot of these crazy conspiracy people. This goes along with it. So the governor comes out and says, hey, the people of Texas have questions, and my law enforcement has said that this looks weird. So I'm going to call out. And Texas was the only state that has its own military. It's not a National Guard. It's the Texas military, Texas Guard. And he said, I'm calling out the Texas Guard. And they used to have like shitty, they had like, like old military surplus stuff. Like they had tanks and stuff, but it's from, the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, the Texas military is going to follow the U.S. military in everything they do from now on in Texas. And that was a big deal to me because a state military was going out and called out against the U.S. military. And Obama stopped the whole thing across the country, just stopped it. And he said those people in Texas are insane. He tried to make it seem like they ruined his game. It was just like that it was all stupid. And but why would you not just stop it in Texas? Because it gave legitimacy to all the crazy shit that was being talked about. But no one ever fucking talks about that thing. And that, I think they pushed. They were trying to push and see how far they could get. And then they pulled back. So there's been a systematic thing constantly of how far can we go? How far can we push it? And that's how far they could push it. And then with COVID, I think they pushed it. Yeah, your church is closed, but you can still go to the liquor store. And people were like, dude, that's stupid. Yeah. Can you tell me why? And they're like, no. You can't go to the grocery store, but you have to stay 6 feet apart. And you have to wear this mask. And you say, but on the box of the masks, it says that it doesn't stop this virus. And they're like, just wear the mask. Like, don't ask questions, wear the mask. And then you're like, okay, but if I breathe, a virus is smaller than a poop particle. But if I fart, it goes through my underwear and my jeans and the seat that I'm sitting on, and you can still smell it.
I know all about it.
So how does it stop? They're like, look, man, trust the science.
Just trust the science, dude, and stop asking fucking questions.
Yeah. And then afterwards, when they said they made up the 6 feet, that they absolutely
totally picked out of fucking fresh air, that one.
Picked into random fucking number. And now when you go to the doctor, they have little stickers on the floor for you to stand 6 feet apart. I just laugh every time I fucking go in there, dude.
Oh man, do you still those fucking signs everywhere?
No, but it's, they put the stickers on the floor. It's still there.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I had a good doctor, because I was like, look, because the kid's like, you got to get vaccinated. And I was like, look, just wait 1 year. Just want to wait a year, because it's all experimental shit.
Yeah.
They're like, well, we'll talk to Dr. Maynard and see if he agrees with you. And he's like, oh yeah, your dad's right about everything. And I even told him, this vaccine is changes your RNA. This vaccine changes your RNA. Yeah. This vaccine, it doesn't change your RNA. It's a regular vaccine, but they use an aborted baby fetus for the testing of it. So people that are against abortion don't like it.
Yeah.
And they're like, doctor, this is, my dad's crazy. He's like, no, it's true. It's right. That changes your RNA. We don't know how that works or what it's going to do. That does too. And there is this one fetus that they did use to, testing in like all vaccines, blah blah blah. They use for this thing.
Well, you could still be crazy, man. I mean,
so we got the Johnson & Johnson vaccine.
The Johnson & Johnson.
And which was a regular vaccine. Wasn't doesn't change your RNA.
Yeah.
And it freaked me out because I went to the emergency room like months later, and they're like, "Have you got your boosters?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "No, I got the Johnson & Johnson vaccine." And they were like, "But did you get your boosters?" I was like, "The Johnson & Johnson, I got that. That's just a one-time vaccine."
The one time.
Yeah. Did you get your boosters for it? Have you gotten those, any one of the two? And I'm like, there's no boosters for a Johnson & Johnson vaccine. It's a regular vaccine. And they're like, I don't think so. And then we get the doctor, and the doctor's like, so have you had it? The doctor didn't know.
This guy hasn't taken his booster.
I'm like, this scares me that you're a doctor and you don't know that there's a regular vaccine that's only a one-time thing you get. And he was like, I didn't know. No,
I came across that multiple times, you know.
He went and looked it up.
Yeah,
that's great. To come and tell me that.
It's fucking crazy. I remember when I was going in the shop, and because there was a one-way system in the shop, yeah. So if you went past an aisle that you needed something from, but you forgot, you couldn't go back. Mm-hmm. So I was like, what the fuck? So I'd forgotten some, I don't know, milk or some fucking thing. So I had to go back, yeah. Oh my God, dude. They're like bouncers they had in the shops. They went fucking insane.
Yeah, McAfee was in Spain. He said it was fucking rough.
Yeah, rough. But Europe was nuts, man, because the laws were so tight.
He would get pulled over.
Yeah.
Because he would say, I have a driver.
Yeah.
You know, I'm fucking a bajillionaire. But he'd be like, I'm an old man. I can't see well.
Yeah, I can't see well, yeah.
Shops, you know, back to those shops. We don't have...
Yeah.
He would say, like, I don't have refrigeration or something. Like, I'm rich, I have a fucking driver, but I don't have a refrigerator. You know?
Yeah.
But,
man, I think they absolutely fucked it in terms of their project, because there was that the monkeypox thing I don't know where the fuck it is, but there was a case of it, 3 or 4 cases of it there a few weeks back in the UK, yeah. And you know what people did?
Nothing.
They didn't give a fuck. Yeah, like you said. Take it down. I'm going down with this fucking thing this time. Yeah. So the experiment, I think they pushed it too hard, too quickly. I think they got cocky, and now they fucked it. Yeah,
it'll have to be something real.
It'll have to be something different now. Yeah. Well, if you remember at the time, Boris said, you know, when they were going through when they were having their Cobra meetings, and they were saying, you know, what's the worst case scenario here? And he's like, they were saying, maybe fucking 500,000 deaths. And Boris was saying, just pile them on the street. If it gets that bad, we'll just pile them on the street.
Yeah, but then the whole thing where like, it's like only 5 people died of the flu.
Yeah.
When it's usually like 200,000.
Yeah, it's nuts. Yeah.
And then, you know, you had people who were like got bit by sharks or car accidents, but they had COVID. So they would put it, you know, COVID. It was so much. And my new doctor, because my doctor, you could tell he's so fucking terrible. He's just like, hey, I want to put you on this medicine. I want to put you on this drug. I want to give you this. I'm like, why? I'm fine. And then I got a call today, and I went and never got those x-rays.
Yeah.
He said your neck is fine, but we could get an MRI. What the fuck does that mean? And if they call me like, yeah, your doctor had a referral that you need an MRI. And I was like, no, I don't need an MRI. My copay would probably be like $800 for that. You know what I mean?
Wow. Now, if he was throwing psychiatric medication at you, I'd be saying, yeah, push it. I mean, I'm a huge fan of loading people up on the psychiatric meds, man.
No, he's like, I was on keto. I was eating nothing but eggs and fucking meat. Yeah. He's like, your cholesterol's a little bit higher. It's not high, but it's higher than usual.
Yeah.
Probably because of that diet. I'm like, yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm gonna give you some cholesterol medication to take for the next 3 months. We'll see what that does. I'm like, no, I quit the diet. I lost the weight, dude.
Yeah.
I got down to where I can go to a regular diet back now and just eat healthy, and I'm fine.
Well, that's the answer to everything, isn't it? Tablet.
They get paid, man. That's how they get paid.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And that I noticed that that mentality was creeping in here before I fucking pulled out of the game. Tablet. I mean, funny enough, actually, I was talking to somebody recently. And, you know, there's a big fucking what's the trend now that every fucking second one has got ADHD? Every cunt's got ADHD now. You got adults in their fucking 50s. I got ADHD. Yeah, so you got this far with a job, a house, a marriage, kids, right? And now you want to get medicated? And they're going for the medication. I seen somebody going on Ritalin recently. It's in the fucking 50s. A drug that was for kids, if you remember what that drug was. And it had a fucking horrific reputation, yeah? And rightly so. And they were proud to be honest. And I was like, listen, if you've got such bad fucking behavioral problems, go and do CBT or something. But you know what? That takes a couple of years. They want give me the tablet, I'm fixed. I was like, so the doctors are feeding the behavior to justify the medication.
Well, I think the thing about that is that
I know it's a completely different
speed. The speed. Ritalin is speed. So it's it only works on people kids that really have it. Is the opposite effect.
Yeah, correct. It's opposite effect.
My ex-wife used to steal it and pop it.
Yeah.
From my son Robert. But you gave it to him and it calmed him down. It has the opposite effect.
Yes.
So if you give an adult speed, they're going to accomplish more stuff.
Yeah.
They're going to have, it's just like, if I gave up coffee, and I can't function. It's so hard, but they put me on Ritalin because I'm ADHD and now I'm able to do everything.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. So my answer to that would be, listen, if you're going to go down that road, get a good cocaine dealer. Do it right. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's crazy shit, dude. It's crazy. Hey, dude, we've been, we're an hour and 10 minutes in.
Are we?
Oh. We are. But we had a good chat. I enjoyed it.
We did. I had 4 people viewing.
That's awesome. And I think this was experimental. And I think for an experimental stream it went very well. But I think
podcast, fantasy football, we didn't talk about politics or politics.
Well, you know what, man? It was just, and I think the name. I think we're going to change the name. I think we need to do something that encompasses a bit more than that. But next week, if we go do this again next week, we'll set up your Twitch. Is it Twitch? Your Twitch stream isn't set up.
I got Twitch and our YouTubes, but you got the
YouTubes. Yeah. You're
sharing Twitter or X.
I didn't do any of that, dude. No, I didn't. But I can add all of them. The only thing
it's on the screen. It's on the.
Oh, I was sharing Twitter. Yeah. I was sharing Twitter the whole time because I had nothing else up there. But yeah, I think if we sort our streams out and our social media accounts, we got to get your chat pulled into this chat, and yeah, I think we'll do this every Saturday morning, man. It'd be good.
There we go. I got 26 viewers now all of a sudden.
Yeah, I think you know what, you get an awful lot of viewers on Twitch and Kick that just bang the stream up and that's it. They just leave it running, which is, I mean, I'd like a little bit more interaction on the chat, but when you do,
yeah, if we get some more, if we get more people watching, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
but
it's a nice system, isn't it?
Yeah, I
mean, these are outlets. Kick and Twitch, I think we're utilizing it enough.
Yeah, I don't know what Kick. There's Kick has money. You know that. Hear about the Lieutenant Dan in Florida?
Yep, I seen the very first interview he did on the Weather Channel. I was like, this guy's insane. And then I heard nothing for 2 days, and then all of a sudden, he was a fucking revelation.
So he tied himself to his boat or whatever. He survived it. Like But Kick offered him $1 million to.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Start a podcast or to buy him a new ship for $100,000 or something like that.
Wow. Okay, the next fucking hurricane, manipulated or not, I think me and you need to go to fucking Florida and tie up a boat.
Oh, we just go down to Corpus Christi or something. Go down there.
You guys need a hurricane. You haven't got one this season.
We haven't got one in a while, yeah. And I'm in the middle of Texas, so we're kind of, by the time we get to us, it's raining.
Yeah, Lieutenant Dan got $1 million. That's nice. Yeah. Well, he wrote out Helene. Nobody said a word about him, and it was what's that guy that does the Weather Channel? Is it Jim Contero or whatever the fuck his name is? He came across him sitting in the fucking boat. Because everybody's gone from here. He's like, I'm gonna ride this one out too.
Mm-hmm. DeSantis, he's the governor.
Tell you what, he did some job.
He had all that shit behind him.
Yeah, everything was set up,
and he sent it all out of the zone.
Yeah,
so that it was all safe and he had it ready to go. He had sent the people out of the zone. He had 1 million gallons of gas.
Mental, isn't it? Yeah, 1 million gallons. Yeah. And then that fucking hooker tried to put her nose in there, and he fucking disjointed it for her.
Yeah.
I can't believe she fucking tried to fucking insert herself into it. Like, he's not taking my calls. Do you know what? Nobody's going to take your calls. Yeah. The only one's taking your calls is somebody's going to be paying you fucking $50. Go back to where you came from and where your fucking roots are.
Someone that needs, like she fucking called Tennessee or North Carolina, they would have took her damn call.
Do it,
No, you didn't care about them.
She's going to finish where she started, man, on her knees.
Well, that's funny, because those dudes don't care.
Yeah.
The Judge Joe Brown, they're like, what do you think I think she's a piece of shit.
Yeah, she's a piece of shit.
It's so funny, because she's the vice president, dude, and he's like, oh, she's a whore and a piece of shit.
Man, come here. Just think about it. She got to where she is, and it's not on her fucking brains. So it's got to be in her mouth.
Well, she did, but that's... Like, you don't even fault her for it, because it's like you slept your way to the top. Like, I don't...
Huge! If I could do it, I'd do it.
Yeah, if I could do it, I'd done it, sure.
Jesus Christ, if I could do it, I'd be whoring every fucking day.
But I was watching this dude, smart guy, Eric Weinstein, I think. He's the physicist. He was like, you don't really think she's an idiot, dude. You don't think she's stupid. He said she's not going to get to where she was. She wouldn't have gone through the educational process she did if she was that dumb.
Yeah.
He said, I think Trump showed us that literally these people are actors and these are characters that they play.
Yeah.
I think she's a drunk. I do think she's a drunk.
Yeah, I think she's a drunk, yeah.
But I think that that's when she loses it and she just, is laughing and just talks.
The hyena laugh? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah. He said Trump showed it. He literally was a WWF,
Yeah, he was.
Character, and he brought it in. And that's what he talks shit. He's a shit talker. He makes up funny wrestling names for people. Sleepy Joe. It's so over the top, man. And everybody, and it worked.
Yeah.
He showed it. He showed it all. They're all just a bunch of actors, bread and circus, man. They're just
absolutely 100%. Yeah, and it's just. All they're arguing over is who's going to be the fucking ringmaster. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all they're arguing over. Yeah. Right, let's wrap it up, dude.
Okie dokie.
You want to bring... Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I was just going to say one thing. Do you want to bring in some crypto projects to look at over the next few shows? Or do you think we should keep that separate?
No, we can mention it and talk about this work.
Yeah. I like to shoot in the shit where everything is on the table. I think when we do the Rednecks show or any other stream, we have to be a little bit careful just because we're broadcasting on YouTube.
Yeah, I know. Kick is different, so.
I don't know. Would you get away with the stuff we said today? I mean, we weren't too harsh or anything, but would you get away with any of that on YouTube?
We'd probably be demonetized on our YouTube channel.
No, I don't give a fuck about that, man. I've been demonetized for 5 years, but would you get a strike? That's the thing.
Probably not, but we would have got demonetized.
Okay, well, what if you because you were on about pedophiles earlier? What if you put loads of fucking tags of pedophiles in your stream?
I wouldn't put loads of tags. On about pedophiles.
Okay, we'll leave it at that, so, dude.
All right, yeah. Thanks for watching, y'all. Check us out here.
I enjoyed it. See you later.